From coastal shores to ocean depths, bizarre creatures, colossal catches, and unbelievable encounters await under the waves.
Yeah, baby! Big mahi!
Are they undiscovered species? These captures do not even look like animals, and some are so bizarre that if these fishermen had not captured these creatures, no one would have believed them. Let's dive into the most shocking marine encounters ever recorded. A terrifying octopus was accidentally caught by fishermen, and this mutated creature looks really unsettling. The creature's tentacles showed unusual branching patterns, and its coloration defied known octopus species classifications. The octopus appeared even more bizarre from underneath, revealing anatomical features that suggested either a rare genetic mutation or possibly an entirely unknown species. What makes this discovery particularly disturbing is that similar mutations have been reported in 3 different locations across the Pacific, suggesting this might not be an isolated incident. This may sound unbelievable, but the next clip will surely answer that question and reveal an even more shocking pattern emerging from our oceans. In 2018, at Bondi Beach, researchers made a discovery that would change how we understand spinal deformities in marine life. They found a 6.5-foot male shark with a curved spine, a condition known as scoliosis. Dr. Marcus Webb, who led the research team, explained that this was the first documented case of scoliosis in wild sharks. Then, in 2020, they spotted another shark with the same issue, raising questions about environmental factors. About a year later, Drone Shark app also spotted one with a bent spine in Bondi, confirming this wasn't coincidental. But things took a serious turn when, in September 2020, a sand tiger shark named Stella was diagnosed with scoliosis and kyphosis, which are sideways and outward curvatures of the spine. Stella's condition made it hard for her to swim and eat properly, threatening her survival in ways that highlighted the severity of these deformities. The team at the Mississippi Aquarium decided to do something groundbreaking that had never been attempted before. They performed surgery on her spine, a first-of-its-kind operation for a shark that required months of preparation and specialized equipment. After months of rehabilitation, Stella recovered, but her case opened disturbing questions about what's causing these spinal deformities to appear with increasing frequency. Scientists have struggled to comprehend what this fisherman caught off the coast of Australia, a faceless fish that defied every known classification system. He recorded a video and uploaded it to the internet to ask around, but marine biologists worldwide were equally puzzled. No one had any idea what this fish was, despite extensive databases of known species. It was accurately dubbed the name faceless fish, though this simple description hardly captured its otherworldly appearance. Its body resembled a sea serpent rather than an average fish, with smooth, translucent skin that seemed to pulse with an inner light. The creature's complete lack of facial features wasn't just unusual, it was biologically impossible according to the current understanding of vertebrate anatomy. It was as rare a fish as it was odd, but what troubled researchers most was how it could survive without visible sensory organs. What was supposed to be a typical day of fishing turned into something straight out of a nightmare that would haunt these fishermen forever. As the fishermen hauled in their net, they were stunned to see a dark, webbed hand thrashing to break free with movements that seemed almost human. The appendage was larger than any known marine animal's flipper, with elongated fingers that bent in ways that defied natural anatomy. Startled and unsure of what they had captured, they quickly released the net, dropping the mysterious creature back into the sea before they could get a closer look. The video went viral, with countless viewers speculating on what it could have been, but experts remained divided. Was it a siren, a mythical mermaid, or just a misunderstood sea creature that had evolved in isolation? The mystery remains unsolved, leaving imaginations running wild, but similar sightings have been reported by fishermen in the same region over the past 2 years. Lagoon fishing isn't usually associated with record-breaking catches, but this clip will change your perception of what's possible in shallow waters. A group of friends was out exploring when they encountered something that would test their strength and resolve. They wrestled a massive 300-pound fish using only their bare hands in a struggle that lasted over 20 minutes. The colossal creature was beyond anything they had anticipated, a true monster of the lagoon that seemed to possess intelligence beyond typical fish behavior. What made this encounter particularly remarkable was the fish's apparent understanding of the situation, as it seemed to cooperate, rather than fight desperately for freedom. Astonished yet respectful, the group carefully released the giant fish back into its natural habitat, ensuring it could continue its life in the waters where it had grown to such an impressive size. But here's what makes this story truly extraordinary. Local marine biologists confirmed that no fish species in that lagoon should grow larger than 50 pounds, raising questions about what environmental factors could produce such gigantic specimens. A group of kayakers off the coast of San Diego stumbled upon a surreal sight that would make headlines worldwide: a rare deep-sea oarfish floating at the surface in broad daylight. This serpent-like fish, measuring 12 feet long, is a true denizen of the deep that typically lives at depths exceeding 3,000 feet. Experts confirmed it was only the 20th time an oarfish had been recorded in California since 1901, making this discovery extraordinarily significant. The discovery gave marine scientists a rare opportunity to study this elusive creature, whose anatomy had only been examined through decomposed specimens. What troubled researchers was the fish's perfect condition despite being at the surface, suggesting it hadn't been dead long. As awe-inspiring as it was eerie, the oarfish's unexpected arrival left everyone wondering what other oceanic secrets lie hidden beneath the waves. But there's a darker side to this story. In Japanese folklore, oarfish surfacing is considered an omen of earthquakes and tsunamis, and this sighting occurred just 3 weeks before a significant seismic event off the California coast. Let me show you something that will make you laugh out loud, but also question the very nature of genetic possibilities. In a pond in rural Thailand, locals spotted a sight totally out of this world: a fish with a donkey's face that seemed to mock the laws of evolution. At first they thought it was just a normal sea being swimming near the surface, but upon closer inspection, they realized it was truly a bizarre creature that defied classification. It had the body of a normal fish, complete with fins and gills functioning perfectly, but its head looked just like a miniature donkey with expressive eyes and an elongated snout. The resemblance was so striking that veterinarians initially refused to believe the footage was real. They captured videos of the unusual fish and uploaded them online, where genetic experts began heated debates about the possibility of cross-species mutations. And before we continue unfolding this fascinating discovery, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Don't forget to share it with your friends too. It helps the channel out, and I'm excited to continue bringing you more awesome content. The coast of Ireland has become an unexpected hotspot for one of the ocean's most elusive creatures, and what's happening there is both fascinating and deeply concerning. For the second time in 2 months, fishermen have pulled in a giant squid, breaking centuries of rarity records. That's exactly what happened to the O'Sullivan family of fishermen, who caught a massive 20-foot-long squid with tentacles thick as tree trunks. This wasn't just any big catch. It was only the 7th giant squid ever recorded in Ireland since record-keeping started almost 350 years ago. The creature's eyes, each the size of dinner plates, seemed to stare with an intelligence that unnerved even experienced fishermen. Its video was uploaded by them and went viral, attracting marine biologists from around the world who couldn't explain this sudden appearance. A brand new species waiting to be named has emerged from the murky waters of the Amazon, challenging everything we know about evolutionary biology. A local fisherman caught a fish that looked like it came straight out of a cartoon. This weird creature had a face resembling an elephant, complete with a trunk-like appendage that moved independently. He thought it might be a new kind of fish no one had ever seen before, and genetic testing would later prove him absolutely correct. The local was amazed by the fish's unique features, particularly its ability to use its trunk to manipulate objects with surprising dexterity. It had a trunk-like nose and big, round eyes, making it look almost comical, but its behavior suggested intelligence levels unprecedented in fish species. He decided to take it home to show everyone, documenting its unusual feeding habits and social behaviors. The discovery of this elephant-faced fish reminds us that there's still so much to learn about the creatures living in our rivers and oceans. But what's most remarkable is that this fish showed signs of tool use, picking up small stones with its trunk to crack open shellfish, a behavior never before documented in any fish species. One shark is scary enough, but nature has decided to create something far more terrifying and scientifically impossible. How about a shark with two heads that can hunt with twice the efficiency and twice the horror? In a bizarre twist of nature that defied biological understanding, Spanish researchers discovered a two-headed embryo of an Atlantic sawtail cat shark in their laboratory. Some scientists blame overfishing for reducing genetic diversity, which might be causing these strange mutations to appear with increasing frequency. Others argue that our increased scientific curiosity is simply shedding light on previously unnoticed anomalies that have always existed. Yet the true cause remains shrouded in mystery, with new theories emerging monthly about environmental factors. A fisherman caught a Goliath grouper, but it went from bad to worse for this fisherman when he tried handling a massive grouper with his bare hands, underestimating the raw power of this ocean giant. Goliath groupers are known for smacking their prey and possible threats with their tails, delivering blows that can break bones. This fisherman was lucky he only came back with a headache and a story that would be told for generations. When the video was uploaded, marine enthusiasts confirmed that it was extremely rare to find a grouper this big in size. It was astonishingly almost 8 feet in length and 4 feet wide, with a mouth large enough to swallow a small person whole. Groupers typically weigh 400 pounds when fully mature, but the fisherman said he felt as if he was trying to move a car. What made this encounter particularly significant was the fish's age, estimated at over 50 years old based on its size. These ancient giants are living libraries of ocean history, having survived decades of environmental changes. One of the rarest fish ever documented in these waters is the fluorescent bull dolphin, a creature so spectacular it seems painted by nature's most artistic hand. This monster bull dolphin put up a good fight that lasted over an hour, testing every ounce of the angler's skill and endurance. The woman was awestruck by the fluorescence of this amazing beast, watching as its colors shifted and danced in the sunlight. It was almost the same size as her, stretching nearly 6 feet from nose to tail, and anyone who saw it was stunned by its eye-catching features. The ocean blue and sea gold color scheme surely is enough to intrigue any fishing enthusiast, but this fish's coloration was unlike anything in the scientific literature. Marine biologists later explained that this level of fluorescence typically only occurs in deep-sea species, making its presence in shallow waters a complete mystery. The fish's ability to change colors seemed almost supernatural, shifting from brilliant blues to golden yellows as it moved through different light conditions. What's most intriguing is that local fishermen report seeing more of these fluorescent fish in recent months, suggesting either a population migration or an environmental change that's triggering this unusual coloration. What do you think is causing the sudden appearance of these fluorescent bull dolphins in shallow waters? Could it be an environmental change or something else entirely? Let us know in the comments below. In a fishing adventure off the beaten path, 2 anglers were shocked when they reeled in a peculiar parrot cichlid that would challenge their understanding of normal fish anatomy. This vibrant orange fish had a strange, bulbous protrusion on its forehead, resembling a swollen blister that pulsed with each heartbeat. The mutation puzzled viewers and marine biologists alike, sparking heated debates on its origin across scientific forums worldwide. Experts could only speculate, but similar deformities have been reported in fish populations near industrial discharge areas. The anomaly fascinated onlookers, reminding everyone how even familiar creatures can hold surprising mysteries beneath the surface of what we consider normal. Some fishing experts had the catch of a lifetime when they caught something massive off the Florida coast. After so much effort and a battle lasting 3 hours, they realized they had caught an incredibly rare and endangered sawfish that shouldn't exist in these waters. This sea giant measured a whopping 17 feet long and weighed around 700 pounds, making it one of the largest specimens ever recorded in Florida waters. Its long, saw-like nose was both amazing and dangerous, lined with razor-sharp teeth that could slice through steel cables. Knowing how special their catch was, they carefully measured the sawfish and removed the hook without lifting it from the water, following strict conservation protocols. Then they set it free to swim back to the depths, not to take it away from its family and contribute to the species' survival. What made this encounter extraordinary was that sawfish populations have declined by 95% in the past century, were making each individual critically important for species survival. Marine conservationists later confirmed that this was likely one of fewer than 300 sawfish remaining in Florida waters, making the fisherman's decision to release it a crucial contribution to conservation efforts. When this fisherman reeled in his latest catch, he was shocked to discover a bizarre, two-headed fish. Known online as the Chernobyl fish, it sported 2 mouths and 4 eyes, a mutation straight out of a horror story that challenged everything we know about vertebrate development. As he shared the unsettling find on social media, theories poured in from around the world about its origin. Some even wondered if it was a sign of ecological disaster, pointing to similar mutations appearing in wildlife near nuclear facilities. The image of this deformed creature served as a reminder of how nature's mutations can blur the line between the ordinary and the extraordinary. A family set out in their boat in the ocean, hoping to catch some tuna for their weekend fishing trip, but the ocean had different plans for them. Little did they know, they were about to find something completely unexpected that would change their perspective on deep-sea life forever. As they pulled up their fishing poles, they were shocked to see a strange fish with an enormous mouth that could easily swallow a basketball. It was a monkfish weighing an impressive 14 pounds with a face that seemed designed by nightmares rather than evolution. This odd-looking creature is rarely seen by humans, as it usually lives in deep water where sunlight never penetrates. The monkfish's ability to unhinge its jaw like a snake allowed it to consume prey much larger than itself. They were amazed by their unusual findings, particularly the fish's bioluminescent lure that continued to glow even after being caught. They decided to keep the monkfish, knowing how rare it was to catch one in these shallow waters where they typically don't venture. One day, a fisherman had a super strange surprise that would challenge his understanding of marine biology and genetic variation. It was a big white halibut, but it wasn't like any halibut he'd seen before in his 30 years of fishing these waters. When he looked closer, he saw that parts of its skin were brown, showing its insides through translucent patches that seemed to pulse with life. The halibut's eyes were huge and bulging, making it look even more bizarre and almost alien in appearance. The fish's coloration suggested a rare genetic condition called leucism, which affects pigmentation but is extremely uncommon in halibut populations. What made this specimen particularly unusual was its size, measuring nearly 4 feet long, when most halibut with genetic abnormalities don't survive to maturity. It just shows you never know what surprises the ocean might have for you when you go fishing, especially as climate change and environmental factors create new pressures on marine ecosystems. A fish lover got the shock of his life when he held a fish in his hands that looked like it could swallow a person whole without any difficulty. This giant catfish was truly a monster catch, making him question everything he thought he knew about freshwater fish size limits. The catfish's whiskers were very long, extending nearly 3 feet from its massive head, and its mouth looked big enough to fit a basketball with room to spare. This river giant had probably been growing for decades, quietly hiding in the depths until it took the bait that would reveal its existence to the world. The catfish's estimated age of over 40 years made it a living piece of river history, having survived countless environmental changes and human interventions. While being a fish lover and conservationist, he decided to release his incredible catch back into the water where it could continue its ancient existence. One day at the dock, a family got a big surprise when they spotted an enormous, spiky sea creature that had somehow made its way out of the ocean and onto dry land through means that baffled marine biologists. It was a pufferfish, bigger than any sea creature the locals had ever seen before, measuring nearly 2 feet in diameter when fully inflated. Its round body was covered in sharp spines that stood erect like a medieval weapon, and its big eyes seemed to look around in confusion as it adapted to its terrestrial environment. The pufferfish's ability to survive out of water for extended periods demonstrated remarkable physiological adaptations that scientists are still studying. Out on the open sea, a group of anglers had an unexpected encounter when their fishing pole suddenly bent double under the weight of something massive and powerful. As they reeled in their catch with considerable effort, they became speechless at what emerged from the depths. With its long, snake-like body stretching over 6 feet and a round head full of strong teeth designed for crushing shellfish, The wolf eel looked more intimidating than most sharks. The creature's powerful jaws could exert pressure exceeding 1,000 pounds per square inch, making it one of the most formidable predators in northern waters. Everyone on board was amazed by its size and strange appearance, particularly its ability to change colors from brown to bright yellow when stressed. They carefully put it in snow to preserve it for scientific study and took it back home, where marine biologists confirmed it was one of the largest specimens ever documented. Meet Breton, a huge male great white shark from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, named after the resilient people of Cape Breton, who have fished these waters for generations. He's special because he's the first great white tagged and tracked on Expedition Nova Scotia 2020, a groundbreaking research project studying shark migration patterns. Scientists caught him using specialized equipment to learn about his health, migration routes, and how he mates in the challenging North Atlantic waters. He was 13.5 feet long and weighed about 1,400 pounds, making him one of the largest and oldest great whites they had ever encountered in Canadian waters. They also noticed that he had lots of scars and marks, showing he's been through countless battles and survived encounters that would have killed smaller sharks. The research team spent over 2 hours carefully examining him, taking blood samples, measuring his dimensions, and documenting his unique characteristics. After checking him over thoroughly, taking genetic samples for population studies and putting multiple tracking tags on him, they let him go back into the ocean. It was exciting to see him swim off with powerful strokes, carrying technology that would provide unprecedented insights into great white behavior. That's how Breton's journey with scientific tracking started on September 12, 2020, at Scattery Island, Nova Scotia, beginning a research project that continues to yield valuable data about shark conservation. What started as simple fishing expeditions became groundbreaking scientific discoveries that challenge everything we thought we knew about ocean life. If you enjoyed today's video exploring these incredible marine mysteries, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing discoveries from the depths of our oceans. Your support means a lot to us and helps us continue bringing you the most extraordinary stories from the natural world. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Let's start with the first moment when a half-human, half-fish creature drops hard onto the deck of a ship in the middle of the northern European Sea. On a wooden boat in the icy northern waters, a group of fishermen was pulling up their nets when a strange creature suddenly crashed painfully onto the deck. It immediately began thrashing, its upper body twisting like a person trying to break free, while its large tail slammed against the floor, splashing water everywhere. Its skin was cold gray, its eyes were deep and black like the throat of the ocean, and its mouth opened as if it was desperately trying to breathe air. That scene instantly reminded many viewers of old Norwegian and Icelandic mermaid legends, where fishermen believed sea people appeared during rough weather. Watching the creature struggle on the deck felt like an ancient story suddenly coming to life right in front of the camera and the fishermen who witnessed it. But in a clip recorded off the Caribbean coast, these mermaid-like figures didn't stop at following boats. You're not imagining it. It wasn't waves, and it wasn't a big fish. It was two mysterious mermaid-like creatures, seemingly climbing straight up the side of a fishing boat. In the video, you can clearly see the sunset behind them, and the small boat speeding across the water. That's when a green-yellow creature with a pointed head, large fish-like eyes, and a human-shaped body covered in scales suddenly grabs the edge of the boat and lifts half its body. Right beside it is another creature, longer and deep blue, with webbed hands and raised ridge lines along its back, like something born for dark waters. What shocked viewers is that they seemed unafraid of the engine, the shouting, or the boat itself. Both creatures rose at the same moment, lifting their heads as if searching for something on board. Why did they climb up so easily? There were no signs of panic or fight. The clip cuts off right as the second creature touches the rail, leaving everyone wondering what happens next in this eerie footage. What did those figures want? Ever felt eyes from the dark sea like this? Share your creepiest ocean stare down. Next, a 2013 oil rig crew faced something far worse, lurking at 60 feet down. In 2013, an offshore oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico detected something extremely strange. A massive, fast-moving, warm-blooded object. Thinking it was a large fish, the team sent divers down to check. But they came back pale, insisting something was watching us from the darkness. One diver swore he saw a pale white creature with a human-shaped body swimming against the current like it didn't even need to use any effort. It had no oxygen tank, yet it stayed comfortably at a depth of more than 60 foot. A leaked internal email later referred to it as the mermaid incident. No official report, no explanation, just one fact. The entire crew was reassigned immediately afterward. This is the kind of moment that could make any diver quit on the spot. In 2009, residents of a quiet coastal town in Israel called Kiryat Yam started reporting something completely bizarre. A mermaid seen lounging on rocks at sunset before diving into the sea. Dozens of witnesses claimed to see the same thing. A female figure with pale skin, a fishtail, and long dark hair. The sightings became so frequent and credible that the local government did something no one ever expected. They offered a $1 million reward for anyone who could prove the mermaid's existence. One man said he watched her do a backflip before vanishing. Another woman swore she saw her tail slap the water. News outlets across the world picked up the story. Camera crews came, tourists showed up, and yet no one was able to capture solid proof. But the stories didn't stop, and here is the weirdest part. The reward still stands to this day, unclaimed. If you want to see how Fisherman caught a $5 million mermaid in Florida, I've also added a direct link to it in the pinned comment below this video. And don't forget to come back. The next discovery is about an observation by Christopher Columbus. When Christopher Columbus spotted land in the Caribbean, he wasn't just discovering new territory. He may have discovered a mermaid. In his 1493 ship log, Columbus described seeing 3 creatures rise from the water with the upper bodies of women and tails like fish. His exact words, "They are not as pretty as they are depicted, for somehow in the face, they look like men." Most historians chalk this up to a manatee sighting, but that doesn't fully make sense. Columbus was an experienced navigator. He knew what manatees looked like. And why would he mention their faces at all if it was just a sea cow? What makes this more intriguing is that other sailors on his crew also reported similar sightings. These weren't isolated events. They were shared, consistent, and written down in one of the most famous explorer journals of all time. Could Columbus have stumbled onto something we've since lost? Tap the like button to let us know this content is making a difference. And if you're watching on your phone, be sure to press the hype button right below. Every hype helps this video get published to more people, and it truly supports me in earning extra income. I promise to keep bringing you even more great content. Next, Christopher Columbus's own log reveals 3 tail-flashing figures that weren't manatees, or were they? In the stormy waters of the Minch between Scotland's mainland and the Outer Hebrides, sailors have long feared the blue men, blue-skinned, human-sized sea beings who control storms and drown ships. Unlike graceful mermaids, these creatures swim alongside boats, challenging captains with poetry or riddles, fail to reply in rhyme, and they capsize the vessel, dragging the crew under. This tale has persisted for centuries with striking consistency. Generations of sailors describe intelligent beings who speak, reason, and follow strict rules. What heightens the terror is modern evidence. The Royal Navy has logged over 200 unexplained incidents in the Minch over the past century. Equipment failures, freak waves in calm seas, and vessel disappearances, with survival rates far below norms for similar waters. Today, some Scottish fishermen still avoid the area without offerings of bread, whiskey, or coins, accompanied by Gaelic phrases, superstition, or a lingering truth too frightening to dismiss. In 2012, construction crews at 2 dam sites in Zimbabwe halted work, claiming harassment and physical attacks by mermaids in the water. The issue escalated to the House of Assembly, where officials publicly confirmed the stoppage and brought in traditional healers to appease the water spirits. Locally known as Nuju in Shona culture, these beings inhabit deep pools, guarding sacred waters. Workers described beautiful yet dangerous figures that bless or curse intruders, showing intelligent, territorial behavior. Pale shapes appeared when machinery disturbed riverbeds, tools vanished underwater, equipment failed inexplicably, and some felt pulled under by unseen hands. Despite government and company pressure, crews refused to resume until sangomas performed rituals to negotiate with the spirits. Afterward, work continued without incidents, no sightings, failures, or attacks. Such widespread fear among experienced adults on a major project suggests something real lurked in those waters, beyond mere imagination. In 1730, Danish-Norwegian missionary Hans Egede documented an inexplicable sighting near Greenland. A creature with a human head and torso, fish-like tail, mottled gray-green skin, solid black eyes, and rows of sharp teeth. It rose beside his ship, stared at the crew for minutes, then sank slowly into the sea. Not beautiful, but alien and disturbing. Egede's credibility bolsters the account. A devout, methodical writer focused on converting Inuit to Christianity. His journals are dry, factual primary sources for 18th century Greenland history, complete with a detailed sketch. He wasn't prone to exaggeration or fantasy, making this encounter a genuine shock to his worldview. The sighting occurred in waters Inuit hunters avoided, haunted by Kalapiluit, sea beings that kidnap humans. Egede had dismissed these as superstition, but his experience shifted his view. Historians still cite it in unexplained Arctic phenomena discussions, noting the sketch's anatomical details unmatched by known marine life, suggesting direct observation. Japan's Ningyo diverges from romantic Western mermaids, appearing as a grotesque human-fish hybrid with golden scales, sharp claws, and a monkey-like mouth, lined with tiny human teeth. Ancient legends warn that eating its flesh grants eternal life, but capturing one unleashes disasters, storms, failed harvests, and mysterious deaths until the creature is honored and returned to the sea. In the 1800s, fishermen off Shikoku Island reportedly caught one that died soon after. Locals preserved it, showed it to officials who documented its anatomy, then hid the remains in a Buddhist temple to avert misfortune. In 2022, scientists examined a 300-year-old mummified Ningyo from a shrine. DNA revealed it was assembled from various animals, yet the sophisticated preservation and craftsmanship implied a genuine belief in its authenticity, beyond a simple hoax. Why the elaborate efforts and temple safeguarding if fabricated? It suggests communities truly thought they'd encountered something supernatural, worth preserving despite the curse. This clip is flipping perceptions of mermaids and exploding on TikTok. It shows a mermaid-like creature tangled in a fishing net on a dark beach, possibly a remote Sri Lankan or southern Indian coastline where fishermen work at night. A flashlight reveals a long face, dark wet skin, cloudy eyes, and a half-open mouth. Each breath makes an eerie sound. As a fisherman leans in to free it, the creature thrashes in the net, clawing at the sand with hooked fingers in what looks like desperation to escape. The fishermen seem hesitant and spooked, jerking back each time it moves. The video cuts off at the height of tension, leaving viewers guessing. Did they release it safely, or what happened next in this bizarre footage? Next, a clip reportedly from the Florida Keys shows divers shining lights into a rock cavity, spotting a mermaid-like figure with gray-green skin and long hair cradling two smaller ones that resemble young. Silence dominates, broken only by the diver's breathing. The tail appears long and thick with sea-like markings. Unlike any known fish, the young cling close, their eyes reflecting caution in the flashlight beam. As the light nears, the figure opens its mouth in what looks like a warning, then sweeps its tail to kick up sand, obscuring them. The divers back away quickly. Viewers compared it to Caribbean sea mother folklore, protective beings from old tales. Online reactions exploded. Why keep filming? Nobody knows what happened next in this eerie footage. Back in the 19th century, America already had its own mermaid panic. In the 1830s, Louisiana newspapers repeatedly reported a female mermaid appearing along the Mississippi River near Baton Rouge. Witnesses said it had long black hair, pale skin, and a fish-like lower body. The result? Widespread fear. People avoided swimming, fishing stopped, and boats changed routes. It calmed down until 1842, when the New Orleans Bee received another letter describing the same creature, this time blamed for sinking a steamboat. No physical evidence was ever found, but the story lasted for years, becoming one of the scariest mermaid legends in the United States. A viral clip from Gensun Fishport, General Santos, Mindanao, shows dozens of fishermen gathered around a boat that has just docked. On one man's shoulder is a small pale creature with a human-shaped torso, but its legs are stiff and contorted, as if hiding something. It hangs limp, arms dangling, wet hair plastered to its skull. The crowd looks terrified and confused, unsure what they're looking at. A few frames later, people step back, some trying to get a closer shot. The creature's face, said to be a mermaid, looks nothing like any fish. A high nose bridge, human-like features slightly distorted, eyelids opening over a thin membrane. Its shoulders are narrow, ribs visible, and the hip area where legs should be does not move at all. No agency has confirmed the event, but the fear in the video is real. No laughter, no signs of staging, just a moment where even the cameraman's hands shake. So, what exactly was carried off that boat in Jensen? A strange marine species, a sophisticated hoax, or the first real proof of Mindanao's mermaid legends? The question still has millions rewatching the clip frame by frame. And now, the most chilling part of today's video. A clip supposedly showing a close-up of a mermaid-like creature's face and skin. And everyone who watches it instinctively pulls back from the screen. In the frame, just beneath the pitch-black water, a pale face slowly rises. Its skin isn't smooth like a human's, but wrinkled, stretched, and rough, like something evolved for icy depths. Strands of dark matted hair float across its forehead, and its eyes are deep black and unreflective, like the eyes of deep-sea predators. The worst moment is when it lifts its hand. Long, bony, claw-like fingers skim across the surface, as if searching for a path toward the person filming. The movement is slow but intentional, like it's studying or warning. This image matches ancient descriptions almost perfectly. Greek sirens with abyss-black eyes, Scandinavian sea spirits with water-worn skin, and Eastern European rusalki with pale faces and dripping black hair appearing at dusk. So the creature in the clip, is it the very thing legends have warned us about for hundreds of years? Looking back at all these moments, have you ever seen anything even remotely like this in real life? In Serbia's Lake Vranja, locals whisper about the mermaid of Black Lake, a pale humanoid figure with long black hair that emerges on foggy mornings. In the early 2000s, a group of hikers claimed to have seen the creature from a distance, describing it as female in shape but with unblinking white eyes and scales across its arms. When they tried to approach, it vanished into the water with a splash. What's eerie is that locals had told nearly identical stories for decades, even before modern media could influence the narrative. In 2013, an Icelandic diving team exploring an underwater cave near Greenland captured something odd on camera. The footage, which was briefly circulated online before being lost, showed a humanoid figure with fins darting behind a rock. The diver filming could be heard screaming underwater before the camera cut out. Though skeptics cried hoax, the divers themselves, experienced professionals, stood by what they saw. Some believe the footage was confiscated due to its implications, and it doesn't help that government bodies reportedly shut down that cave to public access not long after. In the 1940s, fishermen off the coast of Benin, West Africa, claimed to have found what looked like a mermaid corpse tangled in their net. The body, which reportedly had webbed hands, fish-like skin, and a mostly human skull, was taken to local authorities. But within days, it was removed by officials and allegedly flown to France for study. Nothing was ever released to the public. And what makes this case so strange is how many unrelated locals swore they saw it, and how quickly it was covered up. Some claim it was part of the Mami Wata legend, a powerful mermaid spirit worshipped across West Africa. In 1967, a ferry captain off the coast of British Columbia saw something on the rocks that stunned him. He wasn't alone. Passengers on board reported seeing a blonde-haired mermaid lounging on the rocks near Main Island. Photos were taken, and one even made it to a local newspaper. Some said it was a prank, but others insisted that it was real. In fact, the town embraced the story so much that they started selling mermaid souvenirs. The strange thing, no one ever came forward to claim it as a hoax. No models, no performers, no confessions, just a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. In 2005, while maintaining an underwater pipeline off Baranof Island, Alaska, two divers suddenly surfaced early, panicking and refusing to go back down. One of them said he saw a human face with gills staring straight at him from a rock crevice. They described a creature with webbed hands, reflective eyes, and shimmering scales under the flashlight. Sounds terrifying. For locals, it's normal. They believe in the Inuit legend of the Kalupalik, a mermaid-like sea creature that lures people underwater with a sound only heard in the deep. This story sounded like folklore until the real video showed up. On this island, Croatia, sailors often talked about sea women singing under the moonlight. But in 2016, a night fishing crew claimed they finally saw them. 3 long-haired women sitting on coastal rocks, their bodies glowing faintly before diving straight into the water when approached. Everyone laughed it off, until a blurry video surfaced. Even with low quality, you can clearly see 3 glowing figures leaping into the sea at the same moment. Marine biologists watched it and could only say that it doesn't match any known species. Since then, locals consider the area a place you should never sail at night. In the Faroe Islands, deep in the wind-torn North Atlantic, there is a cave that locals refuse to enter. Inside, carved into the rock, are shockingly ancient images, fish-tailed humanoids with long hair, webbed hands, and detailed scales. Historians say the carvings predate Christianity and were likely made by Norse sailors, but the most disturbing carving shows a mermaid holding the severed head of a man. Archaeologists confirm the engravings are real and believe the cave was once used by sailors to pray for protection from the sea. This isn't ancient art. It feels like a warning. You might think the Fiji mermaid was just a famous hoax, but listen to this. Even though P.T. Barnum's specimen was a monkey sewn onto a fishtail, what people don't know is that dozens of similar reports existed in the South Pacific long before that. Fisherman described a creature with glowing eyes and silver fins appearing only during storms. Some researchers believe the original Fiji mermaid was real, but was destroyed by British colonizers during a campaign to suppress indigenous beliefs. Which means what Barnum displayed may have just been a poor imitation of something that once truly existed. In 1978, a geologist hiking near the Icelandic coast found a bizarre fossil embedded in a cliff. Rib bones are like a human's leg bones, covered in scale patterns, and finger joints are unusually long. He handed it to the University of Iceland for study, and the fossil disappeared without a trace. Only photos remain. Some experts tried explaining it as fish bones or a prank, but the bone ratios didn't match any known marine species. Even creepier, the region is tied to old mermaid legends, and sea witches said to drag sailors into whirlpools. Locals insist the fossil was proof they were right all along. A newly uploaded video from the North Atlantic has left viewers so stunned they had to rewind it over and over. A small fishing boat was trying to push through rough waters when the sea behind it suddenly rose up. It wasn't a wave. It wasn't a large fish. It was a long line of human-shaped shadows moving right behind the boat, as if they were following the crew. At first, it was just a few twisted ripples, but 3 seconds later, the water exploded in bursts, as if several creatures were popping up and diving in perfect rhythm. Their movements were straight, fast, and synchronized. Nothing like whales or dolphins. One crew member leaned over the edge, his face pale, while another grabbed the railing so hard it looked like he was about to fall in fear. You can hear them shouting into the wind, the kind of scream people let out when they're facing something they cannot understand. The scene matched chillingly well with old Nordic legends of the Siren Pack, a group of sirens appearing together, swimming just beneath the surface before dragging ships under. And in the moment when the sea surged upward from countless faint arms pushing beneath the gray water, you could feel the real terror on that small boat. They weren't just being watched, they were being surrounded. And then no one expected a normal dive off the California coast to turn into a moment that shook TikTok. While swimming through a kelp forest, a diver suddenly stopped because right in front of him was a mermaid-like creature hiding among the swaying kelp. The camera captured everything. The long, slender body, gray-green skin, arms covered with fine scales, and a pale face with features that looked disturbingly human. Its deep black eyes stared straight into the lens, and its long, curved fingers were pulled into a defensive position. The scary part is that it didn't swim away. It floated there, watching the diver cautiously like a creature fully aware it was being seen. The comment section exploded instantly with people saying things like, "It looks real enough to give me chills and exactly like the Pacific siren descriptions." Just a few seconds, but enough to make anyone's skin crawl. Out there in the deep kelp forests, maybe we're not swimming alone. Alright guys, that's been our list for today. What's your wildest mermaid encounter? Or did this clip make you swear off midnight swims forever? Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell to dive into more unexplained ocean mysteries without getting pulled under. Thank you. In the icy Bering Sea, naval explorers had an unexpected encounter during a routine submarine dive. Suddenly, the water darkened with ink clouds from colossal squids, massive creatures larger than small cars. Unlike most sea animals, these squids didn't flee but seemed to see the submarine as a threat or prey. Researchers believe the submarine's long dark shape resembled a whale, prompting the squid's aggressive response. They released black ink and fiercely latched onto the submarine, their sharp beaks scraping the metal hull, creating a chilling and rare moment for the team inside. A tourist went for a swim in a beautiful freshwater spot, but a massive crocodile over 10 feet long had the same idea. The predator struck at just the right moment, turning it into an intense chase. The crocodile's movements were deliberate. It was hunting. This ancient apex predator, unchanged for millions of years, uses quick bursts of speed and a bite force over 3,000 pounds per square inch, strong enough to crush bones. The tourist experienced a close encounter with one of nature's most effective hunters. In January 2017, a video showed a man near a feeding frenzy of large fish, some over 2 feet long with sizable jaws. When he tossed a small tuna into the water, dozens of these big fish swarmed it with surprising coordination. Moving like a pack, they quickly stripped the tuna to the bones with their sharp teeth. The fish worked together, taking turns to eat every scrap. Experts believe they might be a giant trellis or a new species, with size and behavior different from regular piranhas. The man stayed safely at the edge, aware of the situation. What other incredible animal behaviors have amazed you lately? Share your favorite story or experience. But just when you think you've seen nature's fiercest teamwork, what happens when the danger shifts from water to land? In 2013, a wildlife enthusiast in Costa Rica fed crocodiles by the Rio Tarcolas, filming as they took chunks of meat. When he ran out of food, a large crocodile lunged at him quickly, its jaws closing just inches away. The steep, slippery riverbank made it difficult to escape. The video shows the man's fear as he narrowly avoided harm. Crocodiles have bite forces over 3,700 pounds per square inch and use a rolling technique to subdue their prey. Coconut crabs are the largest land arthropods, weighing up to 9 pounds with leg spans of 3 feet. Their notable feature is their remarkable strength. In one encounter, a crab bent a golf club shaft as easily as paper. Their claws, adapted to open tough coconuts, can apply pressure similar to a large dog's bite and hold firmly once latched. While they mainly feed on coconuts, fruits, and carrion, they occasionally go after larger animals like seabirds. Their strong claws can cause serious harm, and their protective nature makes them dedicated guardians of their space. Sometimes the most unexpected dangers come from things you can't see. Near Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala's capital, beachgoers enjoyed a perfect day until a nearly invisible jellyfish appeared. Its translucent body blended perfectly with the water, floating just beneath the surface where families and swimmers played. This jellyfish was rare and potentially very harmful. Contact with its tentacles could cause serious reactions, including paralysis and cardiac issues within minutes. Even a light touch could have severe effects. The discovery alarmed the community. Authorities quickly cleared the area to ensure safety. Many had been swimming and playing where this creature was present, including children near the shore, unaware of the hidden risk. How the jellyfish ended up in shallow waters remains unclear. Normally, these creatures stay in deeper seas. Some scientists suggest changes in ocean currents or water temperature pushed it closer to shore, while others think it followed prey fish into shallower areas. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming journeys. But just as the threat seems to fade, a massive grouper sets its sights on a fisherman. How close will this encounter come to turning deadly? In May 2012, off Florida's coast, a fisherman had a tense moment while fishing for big game. His target was a Goliath grouper, a large fish up to 8 feet long and weighing over 800 pounds. Known for swallowing prey half their size, these groupers have large mouths and strong suction, able to draw in fish over 100 pounds. The fisherman entered the water to attach bait, but the grouper showed focused interest in him. The man quickly realized the size of the fish and cautiously moved back toward the boat. His friends then threw the bait into the water, redirecting the grouper's attention and helping the fisherman leave the water safely. Along the Yanks River, a routine ferry trip turned into a surprising encounter. The crew and passengers spotted a large creature surfacing nearby, one not recognized by known marine species. The creature had a crocodile-like tail, but was much larger than any known crocodile or alligator. Its size and shape did not match whales or sharks. Witnesses described it as at least 30 feet long, with a serpentine body moving smoothly through the water. Its dark skin and strong movements caused waves that rocked the ferry, indicating significant size and power. Many eyewitnesses shared similar accounts and were genuinely surprised. Although the footage was unclear, it showed something unusual. Some people compared it to legendary creatures like the Loch Ness Monster, which created discussion online. Scientists remain cautious and have yet to explain the sighting. A man walking his dog near his Arizona ranch made an extraordinary discovery in a familiar shallow stream. Swimming in the clear water were creatures that seemed straight out of the age of dinosaurs. Triops, ancient tadpole shrimp, unchanged for over 250 million years. Known as living fossils, they survived mass extinctions, including the one that ended the dinosaurs. Triops usually live in temporary rain pools, with eggs that can lie dormant in dried mud for decades until conditions are right. Their appearance in this stream meant the environment had perfectly aligned to awaken these ancient survivors. Marine biologists confirmed the discovery from the man's footage. Each triops measured about 2 inches long, with a shield-like carapace, several swimming legs, and 3 eyes that help them navigate efficiently. These living fossils connect us to Earth's distant past, reminding us that evolution doesn't always mean change. Sometimes, nature's original design is just that good. Marine mammals rely on advanced navigation, but even strong instincts can sometimes fail. At a beach in Mexico, witnesses observed hundreds of dolphins, or small whales swimming toward shallow waters. From afar, it appeared to be a migration or feeding event, but the animals seemed disoriented. Instead of deeper waters, they moved toward the shore, where some became stranded. Dozens were found on the beach, trying to get back to the water, while others remained close to shore, appearing confused by the change in their usual navigation. Marine biologists have suggested several possible causes. Some believe sonar from military or commercial sources may have affected their echolocation. Others think changes in ocean temperature or magnetic fields could have influenced their internal navigation systems. Tiger sharks are well-known ocean predators, recognized for their strong hunting skills and wide diet. 2 fishermen on a kayak were surprised when a large tiger shark, about 10 feet long, appeared beneath them. Its stripes were visible in the clear water, and its size was much larger than their kayak. Instead of showing aggression, the shark displayed curiosity. It swam slowly under the kayak, calmly checking out the men, like a dog meeting new visitors. This unusual behavior surprised marine biologists, as tiger sharks usually rely on surprise to catch prey. When one fisherman quickly pulled his feet out of the water, the shark noticed but did not act aggressively. It continued circling the kayak, calmly exploring these unusual visitors. Chinese fishermen discovered an unusual creature during a routine stop at a rocky beach. It appeared translucent, bloated, and jelly-like. When turned over, thick pulsing lips were visible, making for a curious but slightly unsettling sight. The fisherman lightly prodded the creature with a cane. It had a jellyfish-like texture but a different shape. When soda was poured on it, the creature released a substance, prompting the fisherman to step back. This indicated it was alive and had a natural defense, possibly a mild irritant. Marine biologists reviewing the footage were unable to definitively identify the creature. Some suggested it might be a deep-sea species brought closer to shore by currents, while others thought it could be a known species showing signs of decomposition or illness. The Maldives are known for clear waters and calm marine life, a paradise for underwater adventures. However, nature's intense interactions can sometimes unfold unexpectedly. Tourists expecting a peaceful swim witnessed a chase in shallow waters where they felt safe. A small shark pursued a juvenile stingray, grabbing its tail. The stingray defended itself with a sharp, venomous spine that can cause serious harm. It twisted and struck the shark, releasing venom. The shark pulled away but became more active. The water around them became cloudy, possibly attracting other sea life. Tourists watched with mixed feelings, caught between a shark and a defensive stingray. This incident reminded everyone that the ocean isn't always safe. Predator-prey interactions continue regardless of human presence, showing swimmers they are not at the top of the food chain. What ocean mystery surprised you the most in today's video? Share your thoughts below. In June 2023, beachgoers at Destin Beach, Florida, were shocked when a young black bear swam out of the Gulf of Mexico. Many initially mistook it for a large dog, until they saw its distinct features. The bear seemed comfortable in the water, swimming confidently through choppy waves among hundreds of people. This wasn't the bear's first time swimming. Black bears are strong swimmers capable of long distances, but seeing one in the Gulf surrounded by tourists was unprecedented. Videos of the rare sighting quickly went viral. though those at the beach felt more nervous than entertained. Though less aggressive than grizzlies, black bears can still be dangerous if threatened. After swimming among the crowd, the bear finally reached shore and sprinted back to its natural habitat with surprising speed. Authorities speculated the bear was following food or seeking relief from the summer heat. With habitat loss and climate change, wildlife increasingly faces unusual, unexpected situations. Taiwan's coastal waters host many unusual creatures, but an angler's discovery on concrete docks surprised marine biologists. The moving mass of bright green slime appeared simple but showed complex, unsettling behavior. The serpentine creature moved with purpose, its vivid green color warning of possible danger. Bright colors in nature often signal toxicity, putting observers on alert. Its movement resembled liquid more than a typical marine animal. The angler hesitated to touch it, suspecting it might be venomous due to its alien look and unusual motion, flowing like thick liquid but keeping shape and direction. Experts at the Smithsonian Natural History Museum identified it as a ribbon worm, Linus fuscoviritis, common in tropical waters from Japan to the Philippines. Despite its strange appearance, the worm poses little risk to humans. It feeds on small marine life and is not aggressive, but remains one of the more unsettling coastal creatures. In March 2017, a mysterious creature washed ashore on the British coast, drawing wide interest. Its unusual body and whale fin remains in its large jaws suggested a unique marine species not previously documented. The discovery surprised locals and scientists. Officials secured the area and advised the public to keep a safe distance out of caution. The creature's unfamiliar form and unknown nature made safety a priority. Marine biologists were intrigued. The creature showed traits from various species and had a jaw unlike those in the fossil record. Its body did not fit existing categories. This raised questions about ocean life. If such a large, unusual creature remained unknown until it washed ashore, what else could exist in the vast ocean? Despite occupying over 70% of Earth's surface, less than 5% of the ocean has been explored. An anonymous source shared footage of a mysterious find, a carcass carefully stripped down to the bones, discovered on a remote beach away from human activity. The remains showed signs of deliberate flesh removal. Unlike typical scavenging by small animals, the skeleton structure was unlike any known marine or terrestrial species. Its proportions combined features from different animal groups, challenging current scientific classifications. The creature responsible remains unidentified. The precise cleaning of the bones suggests a creature with strong jaws and methodical feeding habits. It appeared to have taken its time, removing all flesh while leaving the bones intact and properly positioned. The size of the bones indicated the original animal was substantial, possibly weighing several hundred pounds. The ability to consume so thoroughly hints at an extraordinary and still unknown force at work. Octopuses are usually seen as intelligent and not aggressive, but intelligence can sometimes make them more dangerous. A diver off Chile's coast experienced this when an octopus unexpectedly latched onto his upper back. The dive started peacefully, with the man exploring and filming marine life. Octopuses in these waters typically flee from humans. However, this one wrapped its strong tentacles around him and refused to let go. An octopus's grip is powerful, thanks to hundreds of suction cups on each tentacle. All 8 working together can hold prey much larger than themselves. The diver tried to remove it, but the octopus only tightened its hold. Freed tentacles quickly reattached elsewhere. It seemed to see the diver either as a threat or a safe refuge. Observers on nearby boats speculated on the octopus's behavior. Some thought it mistook the diver for a predator. Others believed it was escaping a larger threat and used the diver as cover. In July 2016, the Baltic Sea beach saw an unusual visitor, an aggressive wild boar emerging from the ocean. Beachgoers were shocked as the large animal charged onto the shore, water dripping from its coarse fur. Wild boars are fierce, with sharp tusks, weighing over 400 pounds, and running up to 30 miles per hour. Confused and surrounded by people, the boar's rampage caused chaos as it charged through sunbathers. Umbrellas and chairs scattered as people fled. Unlike most wild animals, this boar didn't run away, but saw the crowd as a threat. Its aggressive actions seemed driven by adrenaline and territorial instinct. After several tense minutes, the boar retreated quickly into the nearby forest, returning to its natural home and ending the disruption. Don't miss out on more incredible ocean mysteries. Subscribe now and join our adventure beneath the waves. In May 2016, tourists at Dunnet Head Beach, Ireland, found a massive carcass that baffled marine biologists. Over 10 meters long, the creature's size suggested it lived in deep ocean areas, rarely seen by humans. Its unusual features added to the mystery. The face looked alien, with a hard, scaly back and spine-like protrusions around the neck, giving it a prehistoric, otherworldly look. The skeleton confused experts. Bones along its tail didn't match whales, sharks, or any large marine animal known. Its proportions and anatomy suggested a different evolutionary path. Some thought it was a decomposed basking shark or blue whale, but close examination disproved this. The bone structure, skin, and body did not match known species or effects of decomposition. The beaches of Vancouver Island are renowned for their stunning beauty and vibrant marine life, but this summer revealed a powerful reminder of nature's delicate balance. Visitors came across a massive lion's mane jellyfish washed ashore, remarkable in size and potentially harmful if encountered while alive. These jellyfish are among the largest species worldwide, with bells exceeding 8 feet across and tentacles extending over 100 feet. Their tentacles contain millions of tiny cells that can release venom, causing significant discomfort and serious health effects in rare cases. What surprised many was the jellyfish's state upon discovery. It appeared to be removed from the water and was in a damaged condition, prompting curiosity about how it ended up ashore in such a way. This finding raised increased caution for swimmers and surfers. Typically found in deeper waters away from human activity, lion's mane jellyfish are now appearing in shallower zones due to changing climate and ocean currents, heightening chances of close encounters. A sting from this jellyfish can cause strong burning sensations, persistent marks, and in some situations breathing or heart difficulties. Those swimming alone or far from shore should be especially careful. Local authorities have issued advisories, encouraging vigilance in the water, as the presence of one jellyfish may indicate more nearby, creating unseen challenges for beach visitors. In July 2018, fishermen in the Philippines caught a giant moonfish that would feed their entire village for a week and become unforgettable. Weighing over 30 kilograms, it took several men to carry the fish from their wooden boat to shore. Its bright pink and orange colors were almost unnatural, and its huge eyes continued to move even after it was ashore. Remarkably, the moonfish was still alive when brought to land. Its gills struggled for oxygen, and its large fins flickered with fading life. The villagers were amazed, having never seen such a large moonfish, usually found in deep waters far from their coastal fishing areas. Catching such a rare specimen with simple traditional methods made it even more special. This catch had a huge economic impact. In a village where daily fishing often barely feeds families, this fish represented great fortune. Every part was used, the meat, bones and more, so nothing went to waste and everyone benefited. The fish's moving eyes created a strong emotional bond between the villagers and their catch, blending respect and gratitude with the urgent need to process it quickly before the tropical heat spoiled the meat. Two men checking crab traps made an astonishing discovery. A creature that looked like a stingray with legs. From above it appeared to be a typical stingray with a flat diamond-shaped body and a long whip-like tail, but flipping it over revealed 4 distinct leg-like appendages resembling those of land animals, challenging known marine biology. Stingrays are cartilaginous fish closely related to sharks and have no evolutionary history of legs. Yet this creature combined traits of a marine ray with apparent land locomotion. It moved purposefully, using its leg-like limbs to walk or crawl both in water and briefly out of it. Marine biologists who reviewed footage could not clearly identify the animal. Some thought it might be a new species evolved in isolation, while others suggested it could be a known species showing unusual traits caused by environmental factors or genetic mutations. The men wisely released the creature back into its habitat due to unknown risks. Rare species may carry diseases or toxins dangerous to humans, and disturbing such creatures could have unpredictable ecological effects. This encounter remains one of the ocean's most bizarre mysteries. Isaac Brigham learned the ocean's realities during a kayak fishing trip off Hawaii in April 2013. What began as a successful day became a clear example of why great white sharks are top ocean predators. Isaac had hooked a strong fish and struggled with it for minutes while managing his small kayak in choppy waters. Unknowingly, his struggle sent signals attracting a larger presence. Great white sharks detect struggling prey from far away through vibrations and electrical signals. A large shark, nearly 15 feet long and weighing over 2,000 pounds, appeared. Locals called it Chompy, a name reflecting its reputation for strength and hunting skill. Suddenly, Chompy moved swiftly, surfacing to seize Isaac's fish and cut it in two. The power displayed was both impressive and striking. The shark came very close to Isaac's kayak. Great white's active feeding can disturb nearby objects, and Isaac's kayak could have been overturned, putting him at risk. Afterward, Isaac gained deep respect for these apex hunters. Chompy not only took his catch but showed why great whites have changed little over millions of years. They are highly skilled predators. The ocean covers over 70% of Earth's surface, but less than 5% has been explored. Marine biologists discover new species regularly, and surprising encounters challenge our knowledge of marine life. Despite technology, nature continues to shock us. Thank you for joining this journey through some of the most shocking beach encounters. If these stories intrigued you, please like, share, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell to catch our latest videos on incredible mysteries. What was your most shocking encounter today? Share in the comments along with your unusual beach experiences. Stay curious and stay safe.